So I have a big ask for people. It's going to sound like a little ask, but it's really a big ask. And I want to know if you will be one of the 108 lights in this world. But before I explain exactly what that means, I want to back up a little bit. So for months and months, I've been looking at our little temple that we have here, our Dharma center of Trikaya Buddhism, and saying, well, what is the purpose? What's the direction? What are we doing here? Because we've been here a very long time, since 1998, and we've gone through many, many different incarnations. And so I've been trying to figure out what is our current incarnation. What are we letting go of? What's going to be happening next? And, I've asked, I've been stubborn, I've tried to repeat stuff that I've done before, and it just, I keep hitting the wall, and it's like, what is going on? And then I finally, after letting go, finally stopping my struggle, letting go of my stubbornness, I finally started to get this Dharma download of this 108 light initiative. I've been working on various world peace projects, one of which are the Padmasambhava plaques. There's about 30,000 of these plaques that have all been blessed, and they've been spread around the world to create this beautiful treasure net of Padmasambhava energy to usher in a time of peace, to tame the energies that are volatile right now. And that's been a wonderful experience. And then I have friends that are working on various world peace projects in their own way. And so, of course, I'm like, well, what's my project? What am I supposed to be doing? And as I said, I started getting this download of, there is something. But I still had to learn some things. So I was finally taking care of my plants that are on my garden. I have a lot of potted plants on my deck, and they seem to grow. I don't really plant them, they just kind of appear and grow most of the time. I had one tree that somebody gave me. It's a type of palm. It's not a palm tree, but it's a type of potted palm that had been growing in a pot. And then I have these beautiful irises that are all around my yard, these wild irises, and I had grabbed the seeds, and I thought, it might be nice to see these up on the deck, and so I had thrown some seeds around. And then I have this other plant, I don't even know where it came from. It's like these green spiky things, and it just grows, like you just drop it in dirt and it grows. And I did not put it in the pot, but it made it into the same pot, and so that grew up really big and strong into its own tree. And meanwhile, this little palm thing is like trying to grow. And then the iris finally took off, like after 3 years. All of a sudden the iris is coming up and it's having flowers, and it's really pretty. But then I'm noticing like the palm like really hasn't grown at all. It's like still like really small. And then a couple of weeks ago, the green thing, whatever that is, the green succulent that had turned into a big tree, it was like probably an inch thick stalk, just suddenly started dying. And it was like all the leaves fell off of it and the ground, and I was like, And then the palm is looking really pale, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I really got to take care of this. So I finally went down and pulled out the plant out of the pot, wrestled it, and because it's a big pot, it's not like this little thing. It's a big pot, so I'm on the ground, wrestling with it, and got it out. And the iris roots are like strings, and they had just wrapped themselves around the entire pot. and were strangling the other plants and literally killing them. And it was like this moment of realization that, wow, there is room for every type of plant in the garden of earth, but they all can't be in the same pot because they strangle each other. And it sounds so obvious and so like, oh, of course. But the way that I was raised, the way my mom is she just like opens her doors to everybody. Just anybody and everybody, come on in. Like that was my house growing up. She had 5 kids. We all had friends. And all the different friends would come over, and then they would have friends, and it was the safe place for anybody and everybody. And there was just really the only gatekeeper was my dad, and he would go nuts sometimes and just throw everybody out. He'd be like, get out of my house. And he'd just clean house every so often. And I guess I've taken after my mom in a lot of respects in my life, where I'm just like, everybody come. And I've realized that, especially after seeing what happened to that plant, I'm like, oh, it doesn't really work. I want everybody to be surrounding me. That would be nice. And I feel everybody should have a place. But Dharma Center is just one tiny little pot. And so I'm seeking to fill this pot with a very specific type of plant, very specific type of person. And it won't appeal to everybody. I'm looking for these 108 lights. And when we get to 108 lights, then maybe we can expand it to 108,000 lights around the world. And then from there, 108 million lights around the world. But let's start with 108. And what is involved in this level of practice? As I said, it sounds very, it'll sound very floofy, because literally we're just going to give light to the world. But in order to do that sincerely and completely, we have to look at, well, what does that actually mean? When we give light to the world, it means just that. We're just shining. There's no agenda. There's no saying this is how it should be. There's no judgment. It's simply being like the sun, or being like the light in a closet, a room that somebody is walking into. Because right now we have this world, and it's dark, and people are walking in. It's like opening the door to the dark room, and then they're banging into each other. They're banging into the furniture. And what we can do is just be that light. And then the person can actually see that, oh, there's a person there. Oh, there's furniture there. Oh, there's there. But what the light does not do, it doesn't put an impression on the people in the room or the room itself, saying, oh, the room is so messy and disorganized. All the furniture should be over there, and there should be a walkway here, and there should be this way. And then, oh, you person, you should not be walking into that person. You should be walking this way. The light doesn't do that. It just shines. And intellectually, that sounds like a very easy thing to do, right? Where you just say, okay, yes, I'm just going to dedicate a portion of my meditation to just being light in the world. But in order to successfully do that, we need to first fill ourselves and our own life with light. We have to honor our own sense of life, seeking life, our own sense of love, seeking creativity, and our own clarity of what we need to feel fulfilled. Our own ideas of how we want our life to look like, how we want our little plant pot to be, what plants are allowed to be in that space. We have to do that first. And we need to do that consciously. And only when we are filled to the brim with light and our life is bright and we feel complete, then at that moment we can let go of all that light and shine it into the world unconditionally, without pushing our own impressions of how we think this life should be, how we think this world should be, where we can genuinely give that light to everyone without exception. If you still feel like there's something missing or incomplete in your own being, then when you do this exercise of shining light into the world, even if what is missing is in a subtle way, it's a subconscious, what will happen when you start to shine this light unconditionally, those things are going to be highlighted. So this is my little black box warning that comes with so many of my teachings, this little warning label. If you choose to accept this assignment, if you choose to accept being part of this initiative, you need to understand that when you start to give this light unconditionally, what will happen is your mind or life itself will suddenly shine a light on the parts of you that are still attached, that are still stuck, that are still saying, no, I want it this way. No, I really, really think everyone should have a home. That's one of mine. I really think everyone should be well fed. Another one of mine. I really think everyone should have health care and education and transportation. Those are all mine that I want to push out. So when that happens, we have to recognize that, oh, that's my stuff. That's how I want my little plant pot to be. But this moment of being, this responsibility of being one of these 108 lights is not about that. It's not about imprinting this world with an image of how I think it should be. I'm just the light in the closet turning on so others can see. I'm just the sun shining on the world without any discrimination of good or bad, without deciding you deserve some light. Oh, no, you don't. And that can be very challenging. Because like I said, when we do this, it's going to highlight those attachments. And in that moment, if you choose to do this practice of 108 lights, then take ownership of the attachment as it's yours and deal with it however you need to deal with it, and then go back to shining light. So I'm looking for these 108 people. So if you are one of them and you're watching this on a video, then comment, let me know that you're up for the challenge. We haven't figured out, this is all brand new. Like I said, this is just a very recent download, so I don't know what this will evolve into. If you're not on Dharma Center's mailing list yet, go to dharmacenter.com, join it, because there'll probably be eventually something about this whole 108 lights thing in there. But I'm looking to spend time with and build a community of people who are, number one, willing to do the work on themselves, who are willing to take this brilliant light and turn it inward and see, where am I blocking? Where am I holding? What are my attachments? What is preventing me from shining in truth? And then being willing to give that light away. Because I've spent years working with people and building up their lives, and many have wonderful lives now. They've gone left and gone and done really cool things, and that's great. But then it's like, well, wait, there's more. So at this stage of my practice, this stage of my life, I'm looking for those who are willing to go into the more. This is what I'm seeing as the bodhisattva ideal. When we talk about bodhisattvas, there's a real tendency, what I've noticed in the literature and even online discussions about being a bodhisattva, what that looks like to most people is the savior complex, that I'm going to save the world. We're even told that, Avalokiteshvara came and he saved everybody, brought everyone to enlightenment. But if you know the rest of the story, what happened next is a whole new batch was born into bondage. And then he said, oh crap, I gotta go save them again. And he went and he saved them again. And then it happened again and again. And he got so frustrated, he created 108 arms to go to all the worlds and save all the people. And they just kept being born into bondage until he realized that we're already free. We're already awake. We already are this light that we are seeking. We're already here. So being a bodhisattva is not dragging individuals kicking and screaming into awakening, where then they are fixated on an idea of awakening. It is simply being a light. It's simply shining and being light in the darkness. And like it or not, when the light comes on, there's light. That's my other warning. As you shine, some people might get upset. Some people might become very uncomfortable because as you interact with them, they start to see things about themselves that they did not see before. And they might not understand it. Like, I know this one has taken me a long time to really figure out. It's like, why is this person so upset with me? And it's simply because in my presence, things became aware. They became aware of things. That's what light does. It just happens. It's nothing I said or did. It's just there. So this might happen to you as well. As you interact with people, these things that people try to hide in the shadows aren't hidden because there's light. Light shines equally on everything. So as one of these 108 lights walking around the world, our job is not to save anyone. It's just to shine. It's just to notice. The practice itself is to notice where you yourself are holding back. When a judgment comes up about how somebody is or is not, catching yourself and saying, well, they deserve light regardless. I deserve light regardless. This is the unconditional shining that I'm inviting you all to be part of. So in practice, what does this look like? For now, what I suggest is just making it, if you choose to join us, is making it part of your meditation. So maybe taking the last quarter of your meditation and shining that light out unconditionally into the world. So we can do a practice session. I've got some zazen music that the Foundation, Frederick P. Lent's Foundation of American Buddhism will let me use. And we'll do four songs. So the first one, we'll focus on the navel center. That's our center of power. That is life, seeking life. And we just fill that part of our being with light. And it's not that we are doing anything. This is the weird part about meditation, because all we're doing is holding our attention still. And the light is what is doing the work. So if we hold our attention, rest our attention on our navel center, then all the parts of us of life, seeking life, will open up, our power to perceive. And we'll just fill that part of our being, or part of our life. You might notice some desires, some repulsions. Just notice them. Allow them to come into the light of your awareness. And just continue to focus on the navel center. Then the second song will come up to the heart. Center of love, of compassion, of pure creativity. And as we rest our attention in the expanse of the heart, we might be inspired to create. We might be inspired of, oh, this is how things could be. This is how wonderful it could be. And just allow that to be, again, desire, aversion. Don't chase after either. Come rest in equanimity, in real compassion that just allows everything to be as it is. And then the third song will move up to the third eye. Our intuition, our clarity, the pure light of awareness opening. This is where we project worlds. So in this space, you might see what you want to create for yourself. And that's great. Make a note of it. And don't chase it. Don't be repulsed by what you see that is lacking. Come back to that space of equanimity. And these notes, if they're really that important, they're really that meaningful. You'll remember them later. And those could be things that you work on in your life. Those might be clues as to what your work is in this world. But in the space of meditation, as we're sitting in practice, allow yourself to come back to the state of equanimity. Let your attention rest. And allow your full being to take in all of this light from the cosmos, all of the light from the earth. Fully embody enlightenment in your being. Just fill yourself up till you just can't stand it anymore. And then in the fourth song, you give it all away. You just shine this light outward without exception, without conditions. You just allow the light to be without any desired outcome. Say, oh, I want everyone to see the light. No. That's pushing an agenda. So we're just going to shine without agenda. Just let the light do whatever it's going to do, all on its own. We're just being this conduit, this bridge. Being like a star, just burning your very essence to light the way for others. And then when the song is over, pull our subtle body in, close around us, and solidify. And then we'll bow in gratitude. So let's try that for real this time. See what happens. Sit up nice and straight.
Be optimistic, always be positive. Because beyond this transient surface of pleasure and pain, there's endless ecstasy. You can't understand life. You can convince yourself that you have. What you can do is be empty of thoughts and hatreds and violence, so that the clear light of perfect enlightenment can fill you to the brim.
Bring your subtle body close around your physical body. Allow yourself to solidify again into your life. And then we bow with gratitude for all that is. This is a simple practice, but it's very, very profound. I'm limited by my physical body, my resources, my finite lifespan. I can only do so much physically. But this light that we all are is infinite. And it just shines brilliantly. And what I've come to realize is that is, at least from my perspective, the greatest gift that we can give is just to allow this light to shine through us. Where I am at in my teaching and my path is I don't get to choose what other people do with that light. And that's okay. It wasn't okay for a long time, I'll be honest. But I've learned that this is my path, is just to shine. And so I invite anyone who feels the same to be one of these 108 lights. And if you want to learn how to reach this point of giving, of selfless giving, then please continue to study either Trikaya Buddhism here at Dharma Center or on any of the other wonderful paths. So please as I said, comment on the video, or does anybody want to share anything now? But how was this meditation for you guys?
Strong. Very strong.
Yes, we have nodding and yes.
I
Yes.
feel like I can
Felt
feel
really
it.
peaceful.
Very peaceful, nice.
It was really good. I think in the time we are in the world right now, leading to the winter solstice, and I think that's kind of when we kind of go inward and see what will we be doing in our next year or phase of life, and to the announcement of the 108 lights. It's pretty cool because it's like that gives something or a framework if you want to kind of embody, or because sometimes we're not sure what we want to do next. And so the talk and kind of the understanding of give light without conditions and without needing it to be received or used a certain way, I thought was really profound. And then the meditation, I guess I'd never done that before. I've done meditation like for myself as one, and I've done like Tonglen, taking and sending for myself and then others, like very specific, but separate from my personal practice. So there's a lot that's changed for me recently, but today, right now, it was really easy and really deep to meditate and doing the navel, heart, and third eye for me or for my practice. And then, like you said, the last quarter to kind of imagine like that light, or I was going to say my light, but it's not mine, just giving it to the world, and not just cool people or nice people or people I like or people with the same political whatever as me, but I really tried to imagine like the sun. The sun shines on all of us. It's just going out, and I don't know if it's just whatever it was, but it was easy, meditate, deep, powerful, and it's a good thing I don't have to go drive right now.
Yes, as my teacher would always say, get in your body before you drive.
Yeah. So thank you for that practice.
Yes.
It brought my kitty cat over,
Oh.
and also my dog. So they liked it too.
Nice. See, the light shines equally on all beings.
Cats and dogs in one pot.
They're gonna cuddle together eventually, but right now
Yeah.
I'm the little separator.
Yeah, you're the bridge.
World peace in action.
Beautiful. Oh, so wonderful. Well, thank you all for
Thank
being
you.
here
That was awesome.
today. And yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
a little. I'm glad you brought up the Tonglen practice, because that is very specific, and it's very conditional in a way. It's you're saying, I want to do it this way. So when you give light in this practice, this 108 lights, it's unconditional. There is no catch. There's just light. And as I said, it might highlight some things in your own being that you're still working on, so be prepared for that. As you interact with other people, if you do this practice a lot, it might it might highlight things that maybe they weren't quite ready to see yet, but now, because you're in their presence, all of a sudden this stuff is coming to the surface. And this is all happening on an energetic level. So it doesn't always even need to be addressed with words. But if you can continue to be that light, the light is intelligent. It knows what needs to be done. And I think we're in a place right now, worldwide, where we're awakening to this intelligent light and learning to